Imagine an anime where everything was based on a role-playing game, and that role-playing game was a From Software game because this looks hard as shit. Solo Leveling is an anime that is based on a Korean manhwa or webtoon that focuses around our main character Sung Jin-Woo as he climbs the ranks as a hunter in a world where there are random dungeons placed and people making a living from these. Honestly, sounds like what all the people thought of YouTubers making more money than them back in the day. This anime is produced by A1 Pictures, the same guys behind Mashal Season 1, Mashal Season 2, 7 Deadly Sins before all the red blood became a mysterious white liquid, and let's not forget the famous My New Boss is Goofy. So a studio with a good portfolio, this should be in very good hands, but before that, we need to get a feel of our main cast here. Sung Jin-Woo starts his journey off as a lowly E-ranked hunter who acquires a mysterious power that allows him to level up, solo. Now if you are confused, you're surely not as confused as me when I started hearing Korean names in a Japanese anime. I feel that doesn't happen very so often. The guy helping him is Yoo Jin-ho, a very wealthy D-rank hunter that admires Jin-Woo and is helping him to try and become a guild master himself. The ranking system places hunters in categories depending on their skill and mana output. It starts with E, which is the lowest, and rises to S, which is the highest and most elite. Here we have people like Cha Hae-in, Choi Jong-in, and you, the viewer. I wonder where I fall in. Oh, these stats aren't looking too good, hey? Well, I would like you to help me flip this graph around by subscribing and watching till the end. Thank you so much for your support. And now let's just get into it. Let's follow our main character through all of this as he levels up solo. Okay, I'll stop for now. We first are introduced to some S ranks and what they are capable of. We cut to Sung Jin-Woo, who is a lowly E ranker being added to a raid just to fill the quota. After the raid has ended with him doing absolutely nothing, they stumble upon a second dungeon within a dungeon. Now that's trippy. They explore and come to these statues and commandments written on a stone tablet. After a while, some of the other guys get brave and try and escape, but they either get sliced, squashed, or death lasered to death. Jin-Woo seems to be the only one with a brain here as he deciphers what really needs to be done to escape. Just gotta stay low, praise them with instruments, and sacrifice yourselves. Everyone chickens out cause they have a family, but Jin-Woo has a sister in college and a mom in hospital. It's like no one cares about him. He ends up being the only one in the room as the timer counts down. He gets beaten up, stabbed, and loses a few limbs. But once the timer ends, he wakes up in a hospital with the HUD and is called the player. Now this is where the solo leveling part comes into play. With this new ability, he can level up his stats like health, stamina, strength, intellect, etc. just like a From Software game like Elden Ring. He fights in a more assassin-like archetype using stealth, speed, and daggers. At first he goes through his own special dungeons solo and gets new items and equipment to aid him. He can also use his HUD to craft items, buy and sell in the shop, and assign skill points. Every day he gets a daily quest that will make Saitama very proud, but if he doesn't complete that, he gets a penalty where he has to survive in his desert with a huge centipede monster. Aside from the penalties, he also gets good prizes such as stones that grant him new abilities and keys for newer, harder dungeons. On a dungeon raid, he gets hired out just to fill the quota, but this is where we meet an important character, Yoo Jin-ho. He is the son of a dad that owns a rich construction company. Fast forward and his group actually betrays him, thinking the boss monster would just kill them and the group will get more loot. However, Jin-Woo has been solo leveling this whole time. The boss is a cakewalk for him. Once the group comes back, they are shocked to see him still alive, so the only thing they can do is just kill them. Now Jin-Woo can be a bit timid, but he gets a special quest to kill the ones attacking him. So in order to satisfy the quest, he kills them with ease. The guy running the raid, his brother is an S-rank, so just prepare for that interaction later on. Now that Jin-ho knows about Jin-Woo's strength, they make a deal where Jin-Woo accompanies him on raids until he gets enough to become a guild master. Jin-Woo hesitates at first but eventually agrees. On one of his solo raids, he fights an extremely hard Cerberus boss that guards the main tower. After he wipes the floor with that dog, he gets the recipe for the elixir of life that cures all diseases. He needs this to help his mom get out of her eternal sleep. In another raid, short story, he gets ambushed by one of the officials. He has a similar fighting style to Jin-Woo, but he gets overpowered and loses eventually. That's what grinding gets you. Jin-Woo gets a new stealth ability from this guy, making him even more OP. In his most recent raid, he fights an even stronger opponent, Irst. Jin-Woo gets tossed around, thrown at walls, punched in the air, all in a matter of seconds. This guy seems way too powerful, but with the power of God and anime on his side, he actually beats the boss. Now if this was a Souls game, I think it would have taken him about 20 tries to beat this guy, but he is literally using mods to make his life easier. He levels up quite a bit and gets a new challenge where he has to survive waves of enemies. He gets overwhelmed, but his bad habit of not doing his daily challenge helps him get out by teleporting him to the penalty zone. Here he heals a bit and buys a new dagger for when he returns. Once he survives and defeats everyone, he gets a new class, Necromancer, and then a newer class because he leveled up so much, Shadow Monarch. He basically can manipulate dead opponents as shadows. Depending on their level, he can use all their abilities. Even though he's upset that he's a Necromancer and not an assassin, he actually feels this might be better for him in the long run. And that's all we have for Jin-Woo as we await season 2. One thing we can take away from this is always aim for the eyes, just like Jin-Woo. And that's all we have for Solo Leveling season 1. Jin-Woo will probably have to face jail time for his crimes, but hey, what happens in the dungeon stays in the dungeon. The animation was consistent throughout it all, but elevated a lot during the fights. My favorite would have to be the irst fight. It shows you Jin-Woo's tenacity and never giving up soul. He will survive it and win it all. The intro is pretty nice. I would save it to my playlist honestly. And as for the outro, it's a bit creepy, but it builds up onto something cool. Like that weird kid that likes the stuff that you like. The growth of Jin-Woo from cowardly E-ranker to based E-ranker, but with more confidence and power as he levels up to help the people around him. Currently he is only leveling up to get ingredients for his mom, but what could be next? Obviously the manhwa will have those answers, but I don't think I will start that anytime soon unless I'm very desperate or very bored. The ending was average, there wasn't a huge cliffhanger, and I'm pretty excited to see where this all goes. Subscribe to Level Up and like to level up again. Thank you for watching till the end. I will see you next week for Demon Slayer Hashira Training Arc. Thank you and take care.